York's Waldorf Astoria Hotel is famous for more than just its eponymous salad. It has a fabled underground tunnel leading to Grand Central Station and has seen a swathe of famous names grace its guest book. And its ballroom stage too. But how does the rebirth of this hotel, which was a bold expression of the city emerging from the Great Depression, speak to a similarly troubled political present? You're listening to Tall Stories, a Monocle production brought to you by the team behind The Urbanist. I'm Andrew Tuck. In this episode, Sally Howard tells us the secrets behind a repolished jewel in Manhattan's hospitality crown.
Occupying a full city block between Park and Lexington Avenues in New York City, there is no hotel in the world as storied as the Waldorf Astoria. The Kennedys did the twist and cha-cha-cha here in 1963, dining on roast beef and noodle casserole just months before JFK's untimely assassination. Longtime resident Cole Porter wrote standards such as Anything Goes and I Get a Kick Out of You at his gilt-edged Steinway piano on the 33rd floor. Ella Fitzgerald sang to rapt audiences in its Starlight Ballroom through the 1950s, and Frank Sinatra, Marlene Dietrich and J. Edgar Hoover were all sometime residents. Most colourfully, President Roosevelt was privately transported via the hotel's secret underground platform, known as Platform 61, into Grand Central Station to avoid his neurological paralysis being spotted by members of the public. The hotel began life as two separate establishments. The Waldorf, built in 1893 on Fifth Avenue by William Waldorf Astor, and the neighbouring Astoria, erected in 1897 by his cousin and arch rival, John Jacob Astor IV. By 1931, rifts healed and the original site sold off to the Empire State Building. The current-day Waldorf Astoria had risen on Park Avenue. The 47-storey Art Deco landmark was a wonder of its age, giving us such hospitality staples as in-room dining, ensuite bathrooms, a switchboard for internal calls, and culinary novelties such as a Waldorf salad and Thousand Island dressing. This June, the New York landmark reopens after an 8-year renovation. Hotel MD Luigi Romaniello gave me a tour of the site, along with architect Elizabeth Cubani, last October. This was the same day as Donald Trump hosted a campaign rally at Madison Square Garden, and the streets were thick that day with arrivals in MAGA hats and tight Women for Trump t-shirts in an auguring of the 2025 that was to come. The renovation transforms a large swathe of the property into luxury condos, but it also restores features from the original 1929 plans, such as a wide block-to-block promenade from Park to Lexington Avenue, and the hotel's double-width transverse galleries, where women in the 1930s and 40s sashayed in their finery. Of course, the good thing about the original, Romaniello laughs, was the fact that the build was super quick, as there was so much available labour back then in the Depression. That's less the case today. We strolled in our hard hats through the Waldorf Astoria's vast marble Park Lane and clock lobbies to the Silver Corridor, where a series of 1920s friezes of goddesses, who represent the seasons, are being restored to their original, vivid blue and green hues. Following a series of half-hearted renovations in the 1960s on, the hotel was long past its best by the time its new owners, China's Anbang Insurance Group, bought the property in 2014. It's not just half a century of cigar smoke that's being sloughed away, Romaniello tells me. The renovation will also transform the Starlight Ballroom, the setting for Ella Fitzgerald's smoky performances, into a new swimming pool, the Starlight Pool, and treasured fixtures such as Cole Porter's piano, which is still in the hotel's possession, will be reinstated in pride of place in the hotel lobbies. In 2024, 13 million foreign visitors arrived in New York City, including 1.1 million visitors from the UK, the highest tally of any inbound nation. The city saw $51 billion of direct spending by travellers over the course of 2024 alone. Now, however, a tourism crisis is underway in the city amid Trump's torrent of controversial tariffs and high-profile detentions of several European and Canadian tourists. as well as the political fallout from Trump's calls to annex Canada. This has led to a 21% reduction in the sort of inbound tourists that keep the lights on and the moe flowing at five-star hotels such as the Waldorf Astoria. This is all bad news for the new owners. The Anbang Insurance Group have sunk $2 billion into the renovation, which, Kubani tells me, involves replacing 5,800 windows and adding giant new mechanical systems for lifts and servicing. The Waldorf Astoria reopens its doors in an era every bit as uncertain as its launch in 1931, in the depths of the Great Depression. The hotel, however, refused to comment when I asked for their opinion on the Trump tourism slump. Before I leave the hotel, Romaniello shows me the Spirit of Achievement statue. She's swathed in cellophane today, like the outre costume of a Met Gala guest, an event that the hotel hosted from 1948 to 1971. The 10-foot-tall, nickel and bronze, winged city icon has stood proudly on the canopy above the hotel's Park Avenue entrance for almost a century. She was designed by Nina Samuelsson, an Icelandic artist chosen from among 400 competing entries to embody the thrusting ambition that the hotel shared, back then, with her home city. The statue will be back on the portico this month, and she will symbolise, Romaniello tells me, the hotel's return to its original glory. As in 1931, that glory might be a few years coming.
Tall Stories is a Monocle production from the team behind The Urbanist. This episode was written by Sally Howard and produced and edited by David Stevens. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast to receive new episodes every week. I'm Andrew Tuck. Goodbye, and thank you for listening, City Lovers.